Realizing he's lost control of his crime scene, he heads back into the main dining room and notifies the officers that the rest of the diners can leave. As the restaurant begins emptying out, Caleb looks back over at table 24. The two bodies have been removed. Crime scene techs are now placing the couple's likely poisoned, unfinished food and beverages into plastic containers for laboratory analysis. Even the tablecloth and cutlery are being tagged as evidence. Caleb loosens the tie around his neck. Now, his work really begins. Chapter 6. Empty restaurants have a strange energy, a lingering imprint of the diners who laughed, cried, maybe even died at their tables. Tonight, Patsy's is no exception. Caleb walks slowly through the spacious rooms alone, waiting for the remaining officers to finish processing the crime scene. Not 20 minutes after the last of its shaken patrons have left, the tables abandoned mid-meal give the place a spooky air. Caleb stops and looks closely at some black and white photos lining one of the rear hallways. Classy snapshots of New Orleans from almost a century ago. Streetcars, flappers, jazz musicians. Images from the Pythian Temple roof garden, the old riverboat clubs, raucous Mardi Gras celebrations of yore. His eyes narrow in on one of his favorites, a photograph of a legendary performance by King Oliver and his Creole jazz band, probably taken around 1923. Caleb can practically hear their brassy, dazzling melodies just from looking at it. "I'm going to leave you that picture in my will," Patsy says. She's standing at the other end of the hall, which means you might be getting it soon. She starts walking toward him, stumbling toward him. Clearly those bracing drinks earlier have started to kick in. "You'll get through this, Pats. Not that I couldn't stare at these photos of yours for hours." Patsy shoots him a boozy smile and gives him an exaggerated once-over. "I could stare at something else for hours." Caleb stands a little straighter. His own eyes wander from Patsy's sultry lips to her luscious curves. "I hate to ask you for anything else, but could you give me a lift home?" she asks. "I could take the streetcar, but this whole mess tonight has thrown me into such a state. I'd probably fall asleep and wake up in a less than pleasant neighborhood." Caleb was planning on offering one anyway. "Of course, but you gotta do something for me. Don't see table 24 for the next couple of days. It's bad luck." "Bad luck? I didn't know you were superstitious." "I'm not. I just guess you could say kitchens, dining rooms, food trucks. Those are my spiritual places. If anybody understands that, it's you." Patsy takes his arm and slides her hand down to meet his. Caleb wants to tell her he misses her, that he often still thinks of her, their walks, their breakfasts in bed. Instead, he lifts her soft hand up to his lips and kisses it. Patsy closes her eyes and moans softly, but Caleb breaks off their display of affection before it goes any further. "Come on," he says. "Let's get you out of here before a busboy catches us." "There aren't any busboys at my place," Patsy whispers. Caleb informs Officer Ames that he'll be stepping away from the crime scene for the night, and leads Patsy out of her restaurant and into his Charger, unsure whether to take her bait or let the heat between them fizzle out. There was always something about Patsy that made him keep his guard up. They ride along together in silence for a few minutes until his cell phone rings. Nicki Minaj. Patsy giggles. "Hi, Marlene. Get everything sorted out at that overrated madhouse yet?" The volume is high and Marlene's voice carries. Patsy looks over at Caleb, offended. Caleb tries to defuse the situation by changing the subject. "Did you make it through the dinner rush okay?" As he'd hoped, this launches Marlene into a wild rant about how crazy the last 90 minutes have been, and all the cleaning and scrubbing she now has to do, alone. "Yeah, but I knew you could handle it, see?" Caleb says, buttering her up. "Look, I can't really talk right now, Ma, but I'll see you in the morning. Love you." "I hate you, but I love you too." Caleb hangs up and squirms.